Alrighty, welcome to Confidential, all the new people that are going to be coming in from the Movie Trivia Schmoedown, because this is a Schmoedown debate. If you guys don't know, I'm Henry Confidential, and we usually do movie debates, but today we're going to talk about the Schmoedown, because in our personal group chats, we're talking about Schmoedown. So I was like, hey, ding, there's the bell, there's the light bulb. Let's actually do a debate and see how it goes. So first up, we are going to have two matches tonight, so you guys are going to see that one or this one, links and all that good stuff. So first up, we have Cody Newberry versus Ryan Permisson. Cody, you're actually a really good debater here in Confidential Debates. Do you think that's going to translate over to the Schmoedown, or do you think that you can just talk movies?
I absolutely love movies, but I love Schmoedown more. And poor Ryan, he walked right into the line. Then that's going to be really bad for him. I feel really sad. He's a good guy, but gosh, this should be over by the fourth round, so you can get two matches in tonight.
Definitely. And Ryan, you don't have any experience in debating, but you like to talk smack and actually reveal a lot of your terrible opinions on movies. Do you think that's going to translate to Schmoedown debate, or do you think you're just going to get pummeled?
No, I think I'm gonna do pretty well. I'm gonna give it my all, give it my best shot, and see what happens. So it should be good.
All right, and as always, we're gonna have three judges just based on how Skype works. We have me on camera, and then I have my two guest judges who are going to be very impartial. First up, we have everyone's favorite masshole, Lucas Schilbach. Hey, buddy, this is your first time judging a debate, and you're also going to be going up against me in movie debates real soon. How do you feel going into this judging?
I feel very impartial, very fair, reasoned, and researched. Gentlemen, best of luck. May the best arguer win.
There we go. He either said his true, honest feelings, or he just read off a bunch of words like a politician because he knows that's exactly what you want to hear. And our other third judge is going to be someone you guys in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown community might know, and obviously we know. That is Chance the Cobra Ellison. Chance, you unfortunately aren't going to be able to debate with us for movies, or I'm not sure exactly how it goes for debating, but you are going to be judging this one today for the Schmoedown debate. How do you feel going into this?
Look, people, I'll lift the curtain. He's lying to you. I'm not Chance Ellison. My name is Tom. I don't want to hoodwink anybody. So, no. This is gonna be really fun. It's been a while since I judged a debating thing, but yeah, you got two great. Well, you got one great fighter in Cody and Ryan, who I've never seen do this thing, but I'm in a group chat with him, and he expresses a lot of really, really bad opinions. So I'm looking forward to this.
Definitely. And Chance, actually, it's funny that we say that. Last time we met in a debating ring, we actually went up against each other, and you beat me on some BS. So this is going to be
it was not BS.
Even you were surprised you got that win. But hey, I digress. So with a quick rundown of how we're going to do this, each fighter chose their own question going into this because I want it to be passionate, and I want them to have their own, personal passion behind at least one question in this debate. So that's two of the four, and then we're gonna have a blind fight. I don't have a good name for it, so I'm sorry, Screen Junkies. It's called a blind fight until I come up with a better name. And then finally, we are going to have the main event, which is going to be a very fun one. Both of them, it's probably going to be something more mainstream and something that I feel like is going to be better clickbait. And then if it's not a 4-0, which we all are taking bets off to the side that we're assuming it's going to be 4-0, but if it's not 4, we're going to go off the cuff, and it's going to be 3 speed round like questions. So with that being said, gentlemen, are you ready? Cody's already phoned it in because he already knows the win is in the bag. But gentlemen, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, first question is, I don't remember who said it, so we're just going to say it is best heel. So, whose question was that? I don't remember.
That's Ryan's.
That was Ryan's. Okay, so Ryan, you were going to go second. So, Cody, for 30 seconds, open up and tell us who you chose and give us a little bit, reasoning behind it. So, 30 seconds when you're ready.
My competitor goes by 3 names. Finstock, Bobby Gucci, or you can just call him Tom Dagnino, but he is the biggest heel, and I will explain clearly why he is the best heel in this Schmoedown.
There we go, short and sweet. I like that, especially for time's sake. And Ryan, you're going to be next up, so same thing, 30 seconds. Let us know who your heel is and potentially give us a little more.
All right. For best heel, I'm going to go with... He was recently called Legend Killer. He has a big set of guts on calling out some of the bigger stars in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. That would be Andrew Guy. He's not afraid to go up against some of the bigger names and try his best to climb to the top of the mountain. He's great at talking smack as well as everything else that goes into being a heel, so that's why I chose Andrew Guy.
There we go. Same thing, short and sweet. So with this being said, the question is best heel, so approach it however you want. And 3 minutes, because we're just going to do 3 minutes because we're talking about people here, not movies. So usually it's 5 for anybody who wants to visit us again for movies. So 3 minutes whenever you gentlemen are ready. And if you guys are paying attention, I'll do fingers for every minute. So whenever you're ready.
Congratulations, Ryan. You took the John Steven Rocco ripoff with a few more F words. That's pretty much who you picked. The stats do not back up his persona. He beat 2 main people, but then lost to the person that he was supposed to beat most of all, which was Rocco, which was his own thing. Rocco was a way better heel at what he's doing because he actually won a title belt. Tom Dagnino was literally the main arc point between seasons 3 and season 4 with the Rise of the Lion's Den. He literally locked Emma Fyffe in the closet. He never breaks character, unlike Andrew Guy at the table against John Rocca. That was a pretty quiet match where he should have been in his head the entire time, which he lost.
Because he was focused on the match.
Oh, congratulations. He was focused on the match against Dan Murrell and still stood on the table and said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, but that's all he does. Pretty much, Tom Dagnino turned Knapsack to the evil side, which no one saw coming, turned Andraco, turned Robert Byron, which he stole from Roca's team, which he didn't see coming, and then also cut Robert Byron like he was nothing when he didn't need him anymore and called him a loser behavior. Literally battles Harloff every chance he gets and wants to take over the Schmoedown
he says
for
crap
his
that
own
makes no
thing.
sense. The guy can't even form complete sentences. Dagnino has no idea where he's going, what he's doing half the time. He puts on these stupid-ass clothes that are used from some farmer's market down the street. Andrew Guy actually presents himself as a legit competitor with the Kmart suit. He can back it up with his smack talk. He has gone into the ring against some of the best players in the league, and he has taken some of those competitors down, whereas Tom Dagnino just comes in whenever he's summoned by Harloff to compete in a match or compete in a manager's bowl, whatever, and he's like, you're a buffoon, your career's over, you have nothing left to prove. What are you talking about, Dagnino? You haven't even bought a new set of clothes in like 50 years. Go back to kindergarten and learn proper English. The guy doesn't even know how to speak proper English. The guy's is ridiculously dumb and stupid.
Your own competitor saying it's Kmart suits.
He's not a manager, by the way. Dagnino's not even a manager. He's just there because he's got nowhere else to go. He lives in a garbage can outside the studios.
You're not talking about why that person makes it a heel. You're pretty much just tapping Finstock. So congratulations on that. Basically, what I'm telling you is, Guy had a golden opportunity twice to beat Rocca to make him the ultimate heel, and he blew both of his shots left and right. So guess what? It's kind of like when you talk a bunch of shit and you're the main guy and you think you're awesome, but when you lose, it means nothing. You lose all credibility every time. But the thing was, Tom doesn't have to battle. Tom literally was managing the biggest heel team of all time and managed them to of the longest reigning streak of the Patriots.
Right, but who challenged the greatest of all time, Dan Murrell, to a match? No one did except Andrew Guy. He was the one guy who called him out and said, I will take you down. I will take down the GOAT. And he comes back, and no one thought Andrew Guy was going to win because everyone thought Dan Murrell was going to steamroll over Andrew Guy, and look what happened. He pulled arguably one of the biggest upsets in the history of the movie trivia Schmoedown. Andrew Guy beat Murrell, and then he beat Riley. How many people can say I got to win over Dan Murrell and Mark Riley? Not too many people can say that other than Andrew Guy and a few others. If we're talking great competitors of this season, yes, I'd give you credit that he could be up there. But my main viewpoint is that Guy showed up on stage with Dan Murrell. Dan Murrell looked at him in the eyes and said, me and you at Collision. And he goes, fine, and backed off and scared. That's not a heel. He should have said, fuck you, I'll play you on my own terms. That's when he breaks character. That's when he's not consistent. That does not make him the best heel of the season. And guess what? In the season where he is at his ultimate, but which fan page on Facebook has more members, the Action Army or the Lions Den, or what's left of them? Action Army has more fans than the Lions Den does on their group pages. Okay, the Action Army is bigger each and every single day.
And this went a lot better than I actually thought it did, so I went 4 minutes instead. So we're going to bump it up to 4 because, hey, that's just how it goes. Off the cuff is definitely the hashtag for confidential debates because we're always going off the cuff, whether it's judging format or the actual debating. So with that being said, Cody, you're going to go first for your closing, 30 seconds. So ultimately wrap up and let's have some fun.
Literally, Finstock has been behind some of the biggest moments in Schmoedown history, with literally the Andraco fake out, which almost got Makuga taken out of the Schmoedown for a whole year. He was able to pull those moves off. And Andrew Guy is not even the main factor in his own season that he's having the best season of his life in Season 5. It's Mike Kalinowski. Mike's the better heel of Season 5, not even Andrew Guy. Any guy can stand on a table and say, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. But the main guy is literally causing corruption. So you picked the wrong guy for Season 5. Sorry, buddy.
Alrighty. And Ryan, this is your question. So when you get a chance, 30 seconds, close out.
All right. Andrew Guy is the best heel because before the whole corruption thing, Guy was stirring the pot. He was trying to mix things up. So what did he do? He called out one of the biggest, if not the biggest name on the Mount Rushmore of the Schmoedown. Calls out Dan Murrell, takes him down, pulls one of the biggest upsets in history, takes down Mark Riley, another one of the best competitors in the league. Andrew Guy, he's great on the mic. No matter what, he will deliver. He is mesmerizing. Every single time he's on the microphone, he is a lot more mesmerizing and more fun to watch than this stupid idiot who wears a weird hat,
And
a beard, and a pair of glasses. It's terrible.
All right, so our very first ever Schmoedown related debate, and that was a lot of fun. Right off the bat, good job. Ryan, you've never debated before, and regardless of how we're going to do the rulings, at least speaking-wise, you did a good job. So I'm going to go first, and I'm going to start off by saying, Ryan, if you would have done most underrated player, most fun to watch, then maybe we'd had a question. Maybe we'd had a debate. But the question was best heel, and I didn't really get nothing heel-wise. You kept saying like he went up against Merle and he went up against Riley and he beat them, all that type of stuff. But it's like that. What about that is heel-ish? So I didn't get any much from you from heel. You really convinced me on why I should like Andrew Guy and why I should be impressed by Andrew Guy, but nothing of why I should fear him or hate him, which is honestly the purpose of a heel. So with that being said, I'm going to go with Cody for the first point, and off camera, we're going to go to our celebrity friend in Chance. So let us know your very first ruling in confidential debates.
Man, it's very hard judging between two people that are actually my friends, but yeah, I agree. I think Cody took this whole-handedly. I think when it just came down to it, Cody got more jabs against Ryan, and he also did a better job explaining why Finstock's a better heel. So both had a lot of really good points, especially like Ryan towards the end, and Cody's kind of overpowered him. So I'm giving the point to Cody.
Yeah, that could have been one of those things of experience or just preparation how it was. But like I said, Ryan, speaking wise, you did a good job. So don't let that discourage you. Lucas, would you have agreed with us, or are we a bunch of crazy massholes? Oh wait, that's you.
No, I do agree with you guys. I just think it really comes down to, and Chance said it best, where it was just the volume. I have this I've written down. I wrote both their names on this page, and I've got like 20 things under Cody, and I've got like 5 things under Ryan, and like a lot of the Ryan points don't even hit as hard as the ones Cody. Cody made a really good argument in that being a heel is not just about what you do on the field, it's about what you do off it, it's about your moves, and being a heel is like this entire persona, and I think Finstock really does encapsulate that well. Also, I believe the answer to the trivia question of who has beaten both Riley and Dan is Roca. I think that's the only player who's done that. Well done, gentlemen. Can't wait for round 2.
All right, so with that being said, Cody is going to get the very first point, and we're going to go into the second question, which also is going to be his question, which is the best moment in Schmoedown history. So not just Season 5, not just in recent memory, in all Schmoedown history. So since this is Cody's question, we're going to go to Ryan first for his 30-second opening. So kind of build up your story, however you want to do it, approach it. You got 30 seconds to let us know.
All right. For best moment in Schmoedown history, you need something that excites the people, that gets them to their screens. Like, they have to watch this moment. Otherwise, they're going to feel they missed out on a huge piece of history. And that is going to be the match between Dan Murrell and John Roker for the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Singles Championship.
Okay. Once again, short and sweet. Didn't use all his time.
Wait, is it best moment or best match?
Moment.
So
I'm guessing he's saying Roca winning.
Yeah, he'll elaborate, but I think he was trying to build up the moment first. So but for judging purposes, yes, the question is moment. So keep that in mind if Casey goes off topic. But We go on. Cody, 30 seconds. This is your question.
You're right. We need something that brings attention, makes everybody go right to the moment, makes people want to care about it, makes you get off your feet, and that is XX5XX.
All right, we're loving these intros, just straight up to the point. So as we were from last time, it's going to be 4 minutes, and might even bump it up to 5 because this sounds like it's going to get heated. So at least 4 minutes now this time. So with that being said, 4 minutes-ish when you guys start.
Okay,
Right,
well, I'll take it then if you want to give me the opening. Okay, so XX5XX was one of the craziest moments that ever happened in the Schmoedown. It took all this. It took the commentators by surprise. It took the audience by surprise. It took everybody watching at home. When you go back and watch that event, it's literally the moment that people go to. And then when you did reactions, it was the reaction that everybody wanted to see. How did people react to that moment? XX5XX was insane. You never get that many heavy hitters sitting at the table except on a Patreon match. It was literally down to the question, if Vivian moves it, that history never happens. The problem with your thing is, I think there's better championship matches that ended better that changed history. I think Harloff beating Merle was way bigger, even though the points didn't balance out, and I think Levine beating Harloff was even a bigger moment, and Riley beating Roca. It's kind of like when a team wins a championship and they're caught cheating, or they don't do it, or they flop the next year. It doesn't mean as much, and when Roca couldn't defend the title after it, it burns so many bridges. Because it hurt so bad.
Yeah, but
so
you can't deny that.
So
granted, XX5XX was granted. It took me a few seconds to realize what was fully going on in that moment at that time. But look at what Roca had to go through. He had to go through Ellis. He had to go through Mark Riley. He had to go through Christian. He had to go through some of the biggest hitters to get that shot at Dan Murrell. Because a year prior, he said, "I'm going to do whatever it takes to get a shot at Dan Murrell." And then he said, "I've been working my ass off to get to Dan Murrell. Now the time has come." The build-up to that match, it to me is almost WrestleMania level. You can cut that tension with a knife.
Well, listen,
Murrell and Roca are so good at competing against each other that it is a match you need to see. You can't just hear about it through the grapevine. You have to sit down and actually watch that match. The moment that he won that belt, and he came to the end of that year, and he came to the end of that run, and winning that belt was his one goal in his mind, and he achieved it. He went out there, took every single risk in the book. He was blindfolded during certain matches. He put a mask on. He did whatever he could.
Congratulations! You're talking a lot about the big moment. You're talking about the lead up to the moment, not the moment itself. And
but I'm saying it was a big moment because that last question, he had to think about it. And in the very end, Roca won that match. He earned that match. The people were on his side. There were thousands of people watching that wanted Roca to win that match, and he did it. It was a big ending. It was a big moment. It was important for fans of the Schmoedown because most people thought Dan Murrell, yeah, he's going to take care of Roca, no problem. What happened? No. Very end. Came down to the very last question, beat him by a point. Roca did something that is very hard to achieve.
That's not the question. We're not talking about who had the toughest road to the thing. We're talking about biggest moment.
Roca won, and he deserved to win. He earned that moment. He did what he could. He did what he had to do to win that belt, and he became a champion. They call him the Outlaw for a reason, and he did it. He won that belt. I mean, when he won the belt, people lost their minds. The internet exploded. The Facebook fan page blew up. They couldn't believe that Roca beat Murrell, and he did it.
Talking about the biggest moment that happened in Schmoedown history, and you're talking about the lead up and how much he deserved that belt and how much he needed that belt. But let me tell you right now, when Andreko's sitting across the table and he's sitting against 4 people that he should not beat at that point in his Schmoedown career, and he goes perfect while the rest miss, and to miss, there was one question separated. They only missed one apiece. And to miss and to clear the table and take John Campia and Ken Knapsack and Christian Harloff to lose their mind.
But Roca's reaction when he won the belt, I mean, he couldn't at that moment, he couldn't believe in himself. He was losing his mind.
Yes,
he was losing his mind. Everyone in the audience was losing their mind. I mean, a competitor who's able to beat the best player in the game and just be totally mind blown that he actually did it. That's a moment that every competitor dreams of, is winning that belt against whoever the champion is, because in order to be the man, you got to beat the man.
And time. So in the way that this is approached, I cut it at 4. So last 30 seconds, we're going to start off with Ryan because it was Cody's question. So hopefully we can get what we want to hear from you. So 30 seconds of just you, so go about it.
All right. This is a moment that everyone has been waiting for. All the Outlaw fans, all the Movie True Schmoedown fans have waited for, and it happened. Roca defeated Murrell in arguably one of the best and closest matchups you have ever seen in the history of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. That's why Roca winning the championship belt is the best moment in Schmoedown history.
Okay. All right. Final 30 seconds for Cody.
The moment at the free-for-all was one of the main reasons why free-for-all 2 did not live up to the same heights as free-for-all 1, because it had that big shock moment. Everybody talks about that moment. My biggest problem with Roka winning the championship, he did not carry it to the next title defense. Riley beat him. That was a way bigger moment when he spun spinner's choice and Riley spun opponent's choice. And for Riley to still win that match is insane. So that's a way better title match with a way better ending result because he did the Karate Kid thing perfectly. XX5XX was the moment that stopped everybody on their
and time.
No one knew how to do it.
Alrighty, so that was definitely an interesting debate. So I'm going to go to Lucas first because his vote did not count in the very first one. So specifically for the debate, let us know your thoughts and any other side stuff I'll bring up later.
I'm just, they were debating completely different questions is what it really comes down to. Is that Ryan doesn't mention the moment of Roka winning until his closing argument, and his entire argument is the lead up to the match, why Roka deserved it, and at the end of the day, I don't think Cody's argument was actually that great. I think it was a good argument, but I think also he just kind of let Ryan talk. But he does make some really good points. That the fact that if you saying XX5XX, I shouldn't know what the fuck that is. I should be like, is that a new porn site or something? I should not know what that is. And I know what that is because everybody does know that moment. And because I love that he mentioned Andreyko going bye-bye to them because I love that little capper off on the end of that scene. I think it was pretty easy. He also knocked him. It's hard to defend Roka because he just lost to the next match. And he shouldn't have. I would give Cody the point.
All right. So based on the arguments, Lucas is going to go Cody, and I'm going to go to Chance next, just so let's see what he has to say. So based on the arguments, who you got with this point?
This is a much more even fight than the last one. And looking back at my notes, Cody started off great, talking about his moments. But as the round went on, he kept attacking Ryan for not properly defending his moment rather than backing up his own argument, which he did do in the end, and his end point was really good. But overall, as much as it begrudges me to give both of these men points, I actually got to go to Ryan because I like what Ryan was going about the build up. That was a big moment for fans. It was important to fans. Roka's reaction. He brought up a lot that I don't think Lucas giving credit for. So, it's on you, Henry.
All right, so this one's pretty easy for me. Ryan, I feel like Lucas said earlier, they were debating two different questions, and there was a lot of things that was missing from Ryan. Like, he could have easily said, like, his squeal sounding like he genuine surprise, the fact that Roka winning the belt is one of the most gift moments in Schmoedown history, the fact that that thing, or in this whole face thing he did, like, there's the raw emotion that he could have brought up, and he didn't even bring up the actual reaction to the win until towards the end of the actual debate, and at that point he didn't have enough time to elaborate on it. And I don't know if that's necessarily part of Ryan's inexperience, or if that was just maybe his tactic going in, thinking that he could build up the motion, the character development of Roka's storyline, and he was hoping that would work. But unfortunately, I am also going to go with Cody on this one, just because he was able to explain why the moment specifically was more important. Similar to what he did, his approach with Guy, I feel like the build up to the character and why I should like that person worked a lot more, because I feel like he's advocating for these characters and for these people, but not necessarily the question. So I'm also going to go with Cody 2-0. But hey, this one's going to be the blind fight, so anything can happen here. These gentlemen do not know what this is going to be, and it's meant to be more comedy based, and it's more supposed to be some foolery, so it's going to be, let's have some fun with it. So as we all know, I'm going to tell the person in the lead to pick a number 1 through 6 today, and then he's going to pick one, and that is just going to be the answer he gets, and then the other person is going to pick 1 through 6 except for the number that was chosen. So you can approach it however you want. Odds are it's going to lean more towards comedy based on just how we've been going so far, but approach it however you want. I can't tell you what to expect. We're going to judge based on what we hear, but odds are the funnier it is, the better advantage you're going to have. So with that being said, the question is going to be, what movie character would have the best Schmoedown entrance? So Ryan, Cody's going to go first. Pick a number 1 through 6.
5.
5. And then Ryan?
3.
3. Okay. And Cody, do you want to go first or second?
Second.
Second. Okay. So Ryan, you're going to go first. Best Schmoedown entrance. So remember, the question's entrance. So you can take into play music, costumes, however you want, but the overall point is entrance. And your answer is going to be Natalie Portman from Black Swan. So 30 seconds, you're going to argue for why Natalie Portman from Black Swan would have the best Schmoedown entrance. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds to gather your thoughts, and then you're going to have 30 seconds to start off. So build up some scenes, some music. You don't have to say specific songs, but just give us some genres or some tempo, tone. Like let us imagine what we're going to be experiencing. So whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Comedy. Have fun with it.
All right, here we go. So she's gonna come in with the opening number from the Black Swan or Swan Princess musical. Opening number. She's gonna come in. She's gonna do a little twirl around, but she also is gonna have the face paint on her. She's gonna have the dress on, the outfit that she wears in that particular scene in that moment. And she's gonna look straight into the camera, no words, just creep everyone out with those eyes and compete and do her darndest to win that match.
Okay. All right, and Cody, you chose number 5. What movie character is going to have the best Schmoedown entrance, and you're fighting for Jay Gatsby?
Red Bird or DiCaprio?
Hey, spinner's choice. So 30 seconds whenever you're ready. Blind fights, gotta love them. And you wonder why it's more than likely going to be comedy based, because what else are you going to approach it?
That's true.
Right. So Jay Gatsby pops up on the scene, and he has the flair, he has the charm, he has the fireworks. He literally kicks Christian Harloff off his desk. He reads his own questions. Jay Gatsby would literally have a fantastic time facing against with the entrance to pair with against a Ben Bateman or somebody like that. They can also show class. They can also show charm, and it's the battle of the two at the end.
All right, time. All right, so definitely with this one, we're going to be at 3 minutes, so try your best to get as much as you can. And I just want to give a reminder, try not to talk over each other. If you're starting up a point and your opponent wants to interject, finish your point and then let them go, and then have the same common courtesy back and forth. So the point is not to talk over each other, but to be firm and express yourself. So once you're done with a specific point, you don't be afraid to move on. You're not going to get docked for that. So it's not about who says the most, it's who can say the best stuff. So if you're saying 100 words a minute, if they're all 1% level quality versus 10 words but they're all 100% level, what would you rather have? So with that being said, 3 minutes when you gentlemen are ready.
Well, Jay Gatsby has all these resources and all this money and stuff, so he can do whatever entrance he wants. But we've seen that time and time again with Black Swan, her dancing her way in, mysterious music from the Swan Princess musical number, her with the weird dress, the face paint, the red lips, just those eyes, those eyes. You just look straight into the camera, doesn't say a word, lets her actions in that particular Schmoedown match she's competing in speak for themselves. Let her answers do the talking. Let her crazy eyes do the talking, rather than Jay Gatsby coming in with a limousine, a few fireworks, a few beautiful women in the background dancing, a few dance numbers, maybe a musician on the DJ booth spinning his turntables. Yeah, the Black Swan with Natalie Portman will take Jay Gatsby any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Thank you so much for selling my entrance. That's a fantastic idea. It's
pretty pathetic, music. Actually.
He'd have the modern music. He'd fit into the Schmoedown. He'd walk out. He'd be able to charm the crowd. He'd be able to do it in 30 seconds and know what characters he's going for and all that stuff. Yours, if the normal Schmoedown competitors turns on and sees the Black Swan start dancing in the front, they'll be like, well, I got the wrong YouTube channel today and I'm turning this shit off because this is creepy as hell. This is worse than it. Are you freaking kidding me? If I saw Natalie Portman with the crazy eyes and stuff like that, I don't care about her movie trivia skills. I'm thinking she's going to kill somebody at the table. This is worse than Bibiani coming out of Riley at this point. Jay Gatsby would at least fit in with the event. He would have that modern music. He would have that flair. He could even have, they could do great things with the editing and the pyro to make it look like pyro's happening behind him. He would literally sell his character perfectly. Your character's just creepy as hell, and I don't want to see that trivia player ever.
Yeah, well, at least my character with Natalie Portman's Black Swan, it would get people talking. I mean, Jay Gatsby, there's a million of him strolling around, Rodeo Drive right now. So we don't need that. See, he knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, it just works better that way. We've seen 100,000 people come in with fancy schmancy outfits with a Black Swan and the creative entrance that she would put on It's a heck of a lot better than Jay
Well,
Gatsby
Jay
coming
would
in.
at least have promos and could talk and do some stuff else. I'm thinking she's going to tweak out and jump on top of the desk and start pecking at somebody's whiteboard. I don't know what the hell's going to happen with that one. Like, that doesn't seem like a trivia-based contest. That seems like a security. We thought Guy tackling Roka was bad. Wait until we get the Black Swan in there. That's terrifying. Jay could at least build into the thing, could join a team, could be with Bateman. Like, those are two things that you can pair. Jay could continue on in his career. Freaking Black Swan gets hauled away by security and Thad Williams and thrown out of the thing because a crazy woman from Rodeo Drive jumped on the table in black and makeup and act like a swan. What the hell? Who else is doing ballet with her either? Bibiani? What the hell are you talking about?
Well, with Black Swan coming in, at least it would get people talking because we've already seen those kind of entrances before. Black Swan, that's more unique than anything else you're going to get on a movie trivia show.
And time. Oh, that was funny. All right, so since Cody went second, Ryan, you're going to go first again. So try and, we heard you elaborate a lot of the same points multiple times. Try and expand a little more and then just tie it in a nice knot. 30 seconds when you're ready.
Okay. Well, definitely someone coming in that kind of an outfit with that kind of a song in that type of environment that no one's ever seen really before in Schmoedown history. It's going to get people talking. It's going to get the chat rooms exploding, and it's going to bring something to the Schmoedown that we potentially have never seen before this. So that's why I would go with Black Swan.
Okay. All right, Cody. 30 seconds when you're ready.
A lot of great entrances feature other Schmoedown competitors, and I'm sorry, I just don't see the clientele that could join in with Black Swan and do the ballet number and get freaked out by her. Jay Gatsby could at least fit into the thing, and just because it's viewed doesn't mean there's going to actually be trivia played because she's crazy and she came off Radio Drive to jump on the table and do crazy shit like that. I just don't think that's an interesting entrance, especially when there's better horror entrances in the past. I don't think Black Swan could add more or top the ones that have already been done.
Okay. All right, we are going to start with Chance this time. So, Chance, give us a little bit, give us a summary of your opinion on this. This was definitely interesting. Both competitors had two different approaches. They didn't have enough time to prepare. No time, actually. So, let us know your thoughts and who you're picking.
Ah, damn it. Why'd you have to go to me first?
Because that's what you do for me on Full Metal 5. Sometimes, why is it got to be me?
That's fine. All right, so looking at my notes, I found a lot of you repeated a bunch of the same points. Let's see. Cody, I had, the flare, the fireworks. I was waiting for Ryan to say that's dangerously unsafe.
I covered it with the editing.
Yeah, and you're really...
True.
Yeah, I guess. And your only knock against Ryan is that her entrances would be scary and too creepy. Ryan, had you said you might have. No, he didn't. Had you said there had been creepier entrances, I would have given you the point. Because I like what you said about it being unique. And you did have some hits that we've seen entrances like Gatsby before. But I gotta give it to Cody because you sold his entrance more than yours.
All right, so Cody's the first point.
You pitch models, limos, roses, fireworks. I'm just what are you doing?
Definitely. So, point from Chance to Cody. I'm gonna go next. So I agree with what Chance said. Ryan, you definitely. I don't know. Who's. You can never look back and know if Cody would have had these ideas, but you definitely threw 4 ideas out there for Cody, and he was just like, "Thank you." And he just went with it, and then he was able to even flip it and say you can use it in post-production too, so, to do that safety argument. And there's something that he knocked on you, saying that it's not even going to be good trivia, so it's just going to be a wasted point. And you could have brought up something like, Perry, where she's had good entrances, and she, has been a little lackluster on the trivia side of it, but her entrances is always definitely, well received. So I definitely feel like you could hit on that, and like he said, you also could hit on the creepy factor. We literally had Bibiani or an alien pop out of Riley and all that stuff. So there's stuff that you could have covered and you could have knocked down real quickly, and I just feel like you didn't quite do that. It was a lot closer than it sounded, but that was mainly because Cody's was funny and he didn't really have as much substance, but what he was able to say was funny, whereas you actually had some substance, but I feel like you helped him out a little too much, and I feel like if you didn't bring that up, he probably wouldn't have had the little substance that he did have. So I'm also going to give it to Cody, but it was a lot closer than I thought it would be. So that's going to be 3-0 Cody. Lucas, what would you have thought?
The thing is, I was on board with Ryan for a lot of it, and then he started out really strong. The idea, costume, Swan Lake, this all really works. And then we got into some weird red lips and those eyes comments that were a little weird, to be honest. And then the problem is, then he makes Cody's argument for him, and the rest of his argument is just, it's unique, people will talk. And at that point, Cody's talking about how Black Swan might be a crime threat, we might need someone to get her in a straitjacket or something. And at that point, it was just like, there wasn't a lot of substance to either argument, but at the end of the day, Cody was just, he made the arguments that were funny, he made the arguments that made you laugh, and Ryan just got stuck on the 2 points of people will talk and unique.
Yeah.
And I think if his final closing had been something else,
yep,
then I think he definitely would have won this. I think he definitely had a shot. So
yeah.
Think about that the next time you make the argument. Think about adding an extra take.
Definitely, and even just a.
I was on board with him too in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly, and just even add on what you said, like, I don't think Cody specifically said straitjacket, but say he would have said something like that, Ryan could have been like, well, that would have given her a great idea for the next one, because we've seen Bibiani come out in a straitjacket, and that just shows up that you have more, just more ideas, and I feel like you could have added that, and just little things like that just so close. Ryan, you're definitely improving. So hopefully your confidence is there, because this is the main event. This is the one we've all been waiting for. This is the one that you read in the title, that's on the thumbnail, that's like, why would I click this stupid show? And that is, what is the best debut performance? So keep that in mind. Always by the question, what is the best debut performance? If you want to do stats, character, whatever you want, just performance, debut, and performance are and best are the thing, keywords there. So, once again, Cody, you are in the lead, so we're going to start off with Ryan. 30 seconds for your opening when you are ready.
All right. Debut performance, you want a competitor who's going to take the league that they are competing in by storm and really, really set the tone for what's to come in their next matches. So with debut performance, Inner Geekdom, Rachel, the Crusher, Cushing is what I'm going with in that Inner Geekdom Fatal 5-way matchup.
All 3 rounds, not going to use all of his time. Cody, when you're ready, 30 seconds.
Well, I would have went with Chance Ellison, but I changed it. I'm going to go with William.
I don't need to judge anymore. Ryan wins.
I'm going to go with William the Beast Bibiani, because I think it's known that you should pick a competitor that wins their match. But I'll talk about that in the next round.
All right. As always, he didn't use his time either, but so far he hasn't needed to. So with that being said, we're going to go back to 4 minutes. So, gentlemen, when you are ready, and just a reminder, try not to talk over each other as much. If you finish your sentence and then move it on, and then use the same common courtesy for the next person. So, when you're ready.
Okay, so let me tell you this real quick. Bibbs shows up on the scene. No one knows Bibbs. Unless you're really into the film critic community, you don't know who William the Beast Bibiani. You know Andreyko because of movie fights, but other than that, you don't know this match. So this match could have literally flown by and nothing would have happened. Oh wait, it goes to the highest point total in Schmoedown history in a 3-round match, where Bibiani sets the record and wins and lives up to his nickname that they give him. He starts with the Beast moniker that could have went completely south. He could have lost, he could have shit the bed, but he was literally insulted by the questions that they were asking because he was dominating all the way through. The problem with Rachel Cushing is, she lost. Her debut is a loss. She literally did great most of the match and then couldn't do the speed round where Jeremy Johns ends up winning. So Bibiani, by fault, literally still has the points record, if I'm correct, in a 3-round fight.
He does not.
And that has... What?
He does not.
He got taken? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's my bad. So, okay, but still, one of the highest point totals ever that you still haven't seen something that high from that many competitors yet. And the problem is, Rachel, you see people losing Inner Geekdom all the time. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, but with Rachel the Crusher Cushing coming in Inner Geekdom, she specifically said before she went into that match, like, this is where I belong, this is where I can truly shine and prove myself to be a really, really good competitor. And in that match, yeah, took care of Boyd, no problem. Took care of Rudnick, no problem. And then it gets down to Inman, her, and Jeremy Johns. So with that being said, they take out Jason Inman, then it's down to her and Jeremy Johns. Now the buzzer round was still being introductory, still being introduced around this time during the particular Fatal 5-Way match of Inner Geekdom, and she did her best. She came out in a freaking Lord of the Rings outfit to prove to the competitors and to that Inner Geekdom League that she belongs. She is devoted to the Inner Geekdom. She's devoted to those categories. She's devoted to watching all those movies and having all that knowledge in her mind so that she can put it into play and win the Inner Geekdom belt one day. Yes, she may have lost, but she still made her mark in that match, proving how good she is and how really good she is at answering those questions in particular categories. Some of those competitors in the locker room were afraid to go up against her because they knew how good she is. She's that damn good. Ken Knapsack, everyone else, some of the other competitors were backing her up.
So now it's my turn to talk. And listen, she literally debuted in other formats before Inner Geekdom. So yeah, this is her heart, this is her blood, but she literally did a team match before that. So you knew her a little bit before the match and showed how strong she was in that team match. Bibiani literally went in cold. You didn't know who he was, and he literally came in and scored such a high point. And not only did he just do a great job that he could have won by knockout, no, but he was going against such a hard competitor sitting next to him that matched him for shot. So Bibiani missed no questions. Went to multiple choice once in that round. The problem with Rachel Cushing, yes, she's great in Inner Geekdom. That's her heart blood. She loves it, blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't mean you had the best performance. That doesn't mean if we're talking entrance, yeah, give her a point for that. But we're talking about best debut performance. And I'm sorry, Rachel the Crushing Cushing in that match crapped the bed in the speed round and lost the match. So she didn't handle all of them handily because there was still Jeremy Johns sitting there that ended up winning the match, which probably would have been a better choice for this because he actually won the match. And Inman held his own, so there wasn't any wipeouts at that point. It's just the main fact of the point is Bibiani had a way better performance with Unknowing, with a hard nickname to follow because they gave him the Beast. He could have literally been knocked out or shit the bed, but he was able to compete and score one of the highest point totals of all time. Rachel lost the match. That's not a great performance.
Well, sure, she may have debuted in those team matches, but they were like, okay, yeah, Rachel Cushing, new competitor, great, fine. But then in Inner Geekdom, she's like, whoa, wait a minute, we need to take note of this competitor.
Time. Alrighty, so Ryan, you can go ahead and just follow that up into your closing 30 seconds.
Okay. People may have known who she was in the team matches, but with Inner Geekdom, that is when the fans took real notice. That's when everyone started talking about her, saying, hey, this competitor is really, really strong. She knows what she knows, and she is going to become a really, really big threat as we go forward, and she is going to be the future Inner Geekdom champion one day. It's going to happen. That's why her debut in the Inner Geekdom is a really solid performance and a really solid match.
And time. All right, Cody, 30 seconds when you're ready.
This would be great if you knew how to debate the question, but the problem is the best performance of the question. And I'm sorry, Rachel the Crushing Cushing can be a former champion, but when it talks about performance, Bibbs versus Cushing, Bibbs won his match, Cushing did not. She didn't get a speed round question right, so that does not even show the strength of her competitor. Bibbs did not miss a question and had to go to the final question to beat one of the toughest opponents sitting next to him that ended up sparking his career. If we're talking about stuff that moved forward, it literally was the reason why he got the belt, and it meant so much more because it was against Andraco, because that match was so iconic.
And time. Alrighty, so our final main round question. Lucas, you were going to go first. Give us a quick roundup of your thoughts and who you got the point for.
All right, I thought this was really easy. This match was essentially over by the time Cody had finished his sentence. It makes the point. It's hard to argue best debut for a player who loses. And when it comes down to it, all the things Ryan is saying is true. We did think she was cool. She could be a future champ. At the end of the day, a lot of his statements are about what people thought, what people noticed after. The best performance is quite clearly Bibiani, and Cody gets the point from me.
All right, I'm going to go next. And this was actually really close. I feel like Ryan did a good job of setting up the idea of she's a good geek player. She went in coming in strong. She was very, she became a name after that fact, especially within the geek league. She became feared. Competitors didn't want to face her. She was at a disadvantage with the buzzers, because that was still a work in progress thing. So he definitely was able to knock that down. That's not necessarily on her. That's more of on the league. But as I always got to go, we got to go. But it was so close until the end point. Cody dropped the mic where he said that that match was so sweet. So then when he finally won the title, which he brought up that he has the title, not only did he win the title, it was against Andreyko, which was just a great full loop circle for me. So I feel like he dropped the mic on that. So he kept talking about win. That's semantics. I feel like Ryan did a really good job to kind of cancel that out at the bare minimum. But towards the end, that was a great drop mic. That the fact that he won, the fact that he beat Andreyko, one of the best competitors. He had the points record, regardless of the fact check, he had the point record at the time, and the fact that now he won the belt and it was against Andreyko and all that stuff. So I'm also gonna go with Cody, which is unfortunate because that means we are gonna go do a knockout, our very first knockout in confidential debates. But I will say this right off the bat, Ryan, if you can come back and actually start debating either more Schmoedown stuff, or if you even jump into movies, if you learn how to approach the question, you will do fine. I really feel like it's not necessarily your fault, because we only did a day to prepare, because we went in expecting it not to be not needed much preparation. But you being a complete rookie, I do feel like maybe you might have needed a little bit of preparation. But with that being said, you have the talent there, so don't let this discourage you if you ever are interested in joining again. And real quick, Chance, would you have also agreed with us, or would you have at least given Ryan some love?
I will say, I don't think the fight is as hard as Lucas made it out to be. Because, had Ryan brought up the fact that, given the points, Rachel Cushing outperformed Jeremy Johns, or after the fight, Rachel was the only, even though Johns won, all the conversation was about Rachel. I think he could have taken it, but it was definitely Cody.
All right, so with that being said, I want to give a quick shout out to my third judges, Chance Ellison and Lucas Schilbach. Lucas, do you feel confident going into potential judgings in the future, and also debating now that you got to kind of, your toes wet with the format?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, this was fun. I feel bad for Ryan, I really do, because he kept getting really close. Every argument, I'm just sitting there writing down these answers, and I'm like, if Ryan can make one really good point in his final argument, he can get back into this. And I think just inexperience, you could tell it was just getting caught up in repetition, and that's the worst thing in a debate, is if you get stuck making the same point. Because after a while, I can't write down the same point more than a couple ways, and it stops earning points for me. So congratulations to both competitors. Ryan, you're really close. Just focus on the question. Also, think one thing that always helps me is think about an argument somebody can make against yours. I think if you thought the Cushing went over again, you might think, well, how do I combat she lost? Because that's kind of that's the knockout blow on that one. You have to figure out how you can dodge that. Yeah. Cody, congratulations. Thank you for letting me judge Henry. This was a lot of fun.
Definitely, and I appreciate you taking your time out to do this. And Chance, you got a chance to judge. How did it feel hearing two fans talk about your fellow Schmoedown members like that?
It was a bit surreal. I know that I can never debate in this because I don't want to fight against my friends' accomplishments. But overall with two of them, they did really great, and I'd be happy to come in and judge again if you needed a real Schmoedown expert.
Definitely, and I just want to reiterate one more time, the score might have been a 4-0 knockout, but at any point it could have been 4-0 the exact opposite if Ryan just had a little more experience or just a little tweak in his argument. So with that being said, I'm Henry Confidential. I appreciate any of you brand new Movie Trivia Schmoedown fans from the group page who are viewing it, especially if you made it to this far in the video. If you're interested in this format, let us know in the comments below if you want us to do more Schmoedown specific debates. Comment any topics that you would want us to do, and granted, questions 1 and 2 will be brought up by the fighters, but if they read that, they might use that as influence to talk about it. And if you're interested in regular movie debates, we do that also on the channel, and we do also our own fan trivia league. Well, I call it a club. It's small scale, 16 players. We're not looking for anything immaculate or nothing like that. We're just trying to have fun with some friends and do some trivia. And we also talk about our top 100s and occasionally do movie reviews and talk about movie related stuff. So if you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel, like this video, give us some love, because we're big fans of the Schmoedown itself. myself, and this is why we all came together as friends, because we, came together on the Movie Trivia Schmoedown group page, and we became friends and we talk about movies. So with that being said, Henry Confidential, once again, I just want to reiterate, thank you very much to Lucas and Chance for taking their time out to judge us, and thank you very much to Ryan for being a great sport and holding his head up the whole time. He lost 4-0, but at any point it could have been the exact opposite. And Cody, we all know you're a force to be reckoned with in debating, and I can't wait to face you in movie debates. Henry Confidential, we're out.